Welcome, beautiful damsels. When pushed to the edge, even the quietest wolf shows its fangs. In a world where the loudest voices often claim the stage, the Sigma stands in the shadows, silent, calculating, and underestimated. Yet it's precisely this quiet resilience that makes their comeback all the more shocking. Studies suggest that people who thrive in solitude and adaptability, traits of the Sigma personality, are better equipped to handle extreme stress and unpredictability. But here's the twist. A Sigma's breaking point isn't the start of their downfall. It's the trigger for their most extraordinary transformations. Like a dormant volcano, they erupt when least expected, leaving everyone wondering, where the hell did that come from? Brace yourself, because the Sigma comeback isn't just a story of survival. It's a masterclass in turning chaos into a weapon, proving that underestimating the lone wolf is the deadliest mistake you can make. Number 1. Channeling crisis into creative genius. When the pressure is on and the walls are closing in, most people crumble or fall back on predictable patterns. A Sigma, however, taps into something different, an almost untapped reservoir of creative energy that thrives in the midst of chaos. For them, adversity isn't just a challenge. It's a trigger that forces their mind into overdrive, producing solutions no one else would even consider. This creativity isn't random. It's sharp, deliberate, and unconventional. When others panic and lose focus, Sigmas use the intensity of the moment to think in ways that break the mold. They see angles others miss, connecting dots that seem completely unrelated. Under pressure, their brain filters out the noise and hones in on the one idea, the one move, that can flip the entire situation in their favor. It's not about pulling off a dramatic miracle. It's about solving problems in ways that leave everyone else stunned. This ability stems from their comfort with solitude and self-reliance. A Sigma spends much of their time thinking independently, unburdened by the need to fit into anyone else's framework. So, when the heat is on, they don't default to groupthink or prepackaged solutions. Instead, they rely on their internal arsenal of knowledge and insights, delivering results that are as effective as they are unpredictable. Their creativity under pressure is what makes them dangerous when underestimated. While others are busy trying to control the storm, the Sigma embraces it, using its power to fuel a level of brilliance that only reveals itself when the stakes are at their absolute highest. It's not just survival. It's a quiet, calculated triumph that turns impossible situations into unforgettable victories. Number 2. Exploiting underdog perception. Sigmas are masters of the underdog advantage, and they don't just stumble into it, they lean into it. Their quiet, non-conforming demeanor naturally draws assumptions from others. They're not a threat, or they don't have what it takes to win. This underestimation becomes their secret weapon, allowing them to operate in stealth mode while everyone else is distracted by louder, more obvious players. What makes this so effective is that Sigmas don't fight the perception. They embrace it. They don't waste time correcting others' misjudgments or seeking validation. Instead, they observe, analyze, and quietly build their strategy in the background. While competitors overplay their hands or squander resources trying to maintain dominance, the Sigma bides their time, sharpening their approach. This isn't about false humility or playing possum. It's a deliberate act of patience and precision. When the moment comes, their comeback isn't just surprising, it's explosive. The silence that once made them seem irrelevant suddenly becomes their loudest statement. They flip the script in a way that leaves everyone scrambling to figure out how they missed the signs. It's a stealth tactic that works because it's rooted in authenticity. Sigmas don't have to pretend to be anything they're not. Their low profile is real, their independence is real, and so is the shock when they reveal just how capable they've been all along. It's not just about proving people wrong, it's about capitalizing on being underestimated to deliver results that are undeniable and unforgettable. By the time anyone realizes they've been outplayed, the Sigma is already miles ahead. Number 3. Weaponized minimalism in comebacks. Sigmas have an uncanny ability to do more with less, and this becomes their signature strength during a comeback. While others depend on sprawling networks, excessive resources, or grand plans, Sigmas rely on their sharp instincts and the ability to maximize whatever little they have at hand. They're not interested in overwhelming their problems with brute force. They solve them with precision, using minimalism as both a strategy and a mindset. What sets Sigmas apart is their ability to see value in what others overlook. A discarded opportunity, an underestimated ally, or a seemingly insignificant detail can become the cornerstone of their resurgence. Where most people see lack, a Sigma sees potential. They take the few pieces available and assemble them into something extraordinary, often catching everyone off guard with how effectively they've turned scraps into gold. Their independence plays a huge role in this. Sigmas don't wait for external validation or extra resources to move forward. They thrive in scarcity because they're used to operating solo, unburdened by reliance on others. This self-reliance fuels their ability to think creatively and make the most of limited options. And when they do strike, it's not with overwhelming force but with pinpoint accuracy. Their minimalism forces them to focus only on what truly matters, cutting out distractions and unnecessary complexity. This lean, stripped-down approach doesn't just make their comebacks efficient, it makes them impossible to predict. Sigmas prove that you don't need everything to stage a comeback. You just need the right things and the clarity, patience, and skill to use them better than anyone else. By weaponizing minimalism, they turn the smallest opportunities into the biggest wins. Number 4. Turning opponents into assets. Sigmas possess a rare talent for turning the tables on their opponents without direct confrontation. Rather than wasting energy resisting or clashing head-on, they absorb and redirect the momentum of their challengers, much like a martial artist uses an attacker's strength against them. This isn't just a strategy, it's a philosophy rooted in the Sigma's deep understanding of human nature and sharp observational skills. Opponents, whether they're aggressive rivals or subtle manipulators, often underestimate Sigmas due to their quiet and non-confrontational demeanor. This creates an opening for the Sigma to analyze their weaknesses, intentions, and patterns without drawing attention. They see through bluster and ego, identifying ways to turn what seems like a disadvantage into an unexpected advantage. For instance, a Sigma might take an adversary's attempt to discredit them and subtly reframe it, using the attention to showcase their own competence. Or they might allow an opponent to overexert themselves in pursuit of domination, only to capitalize on their exhaustion or mistakes when the time is right. It's a game of patience, timing, and precision, never striking too early but always striking effectively. What makes this approach so effective is that it disorients opponents. They expect resistance but are instead met with redirection, often leading them to underestimate the true power of the Sigma's strategy until it's too late. The opponent's strength becomes the Sigma's tool, their aggression becomes their undoing, and their missteps become the Sigma's pathway to success. This ability to transform opposition into opportunity isn't just clever, it's profoundly efficient. It allows Sigmas to conserve their energy, avoid unnecessary conflict, and emerge victorious with minimal effort, leaving their adversaries confused, frustrated, and ultimately defeated by their own moves. Number 5. Patience as a psychological superpower. Patience is often underestimated, but for Sigmas, it's their psychological superpower. While others panic, rush decisions, or try to force outcomes under pressure, Sigmas remain composed, playing the long game. Their patience isn't passive or lazy, it's deliberate, calculated, and razor-sharp. They know that timing can make the difference between success and failure, and they are willing to wait as long as it takes for the perfect moment to strike. This ability to hold back isn't easy in a world obsessed with instant results. Most people feel compelled to act quickly, driven by fear of missing out or losing control. Sigmas, however, thrive in the opposite mindset. They understand that moving too soon often leads to mistakes, wasted energy, or missed opportunities. Instead, they observe the situation like a chessboard, studying every piece, every move, and every angle before making their own decisive play. What makes their patience so powerful is the psychological impact it has on others. Opponents often grow impatient, frustrated, or overconfident, mistaking the Sigma's calm for weakness or indecision. This leads them to make reckless moves, exposing vulnerabilities that the Sigma can exploit with precision. By waiting for these cracks to appear, The sigma avoids unnecessary risks and ensures that when they do act, it's with maximum impact. Patience also allows sigmas to adapt. While others rush toward fixed goals, sigmas use the extra time to reassess, refine, and adjust their approach as new information comes to light. They're not locked into rigid plans, they're fluid, adaptable, and always a step ahead because they refuse to be rushed. In the end, a sigma's patience isn't just a waiting game, it's a quiet, psychological power that leaves others scrambling while they stay one move ahead, striking only when the victory is assured. Number 6. Breaking the narrative of defeat. For sigmas, defeat isn't the end of the story. It's the raw material for an entirely new narrative. While most people either wallow in failure or struggle to recover their footing, sigmas treat setbacks as opportunities to redefine themselves. They don't just bounce back, they rewrite the script entirely, transforming moments of adversity into stories of resilience, self-mastery, and often quiet triumph. Sigmas refuse to let circumstances dictate their identity. When the world tries to box them into a narrative of loss or victimhood, they take control of the pen, crafting a version where they are the architect of their own comeback. This is not about denial or bravado, it's about perspective. To a sigma, failure is not a verdict but a challenge, one that sharpens their focus and strengthens their resolve. What makes their comeback so compelling is how self-directed it is. Sigmas don't rely on external validation or sympathy to rebuild their momentum. They avoid the temptation to play the victim or seek pity. Instead, they internalize the lessons from their struggles and quietly start building, piece by piece, often out of view. By the time they re-emerge, their transformation is undeniable and impossible to ignore. This approach unsettles some and inspires others. Those who underestimated the sigma are left questioning their own assumptions, unnerved by how seamlessly the narrative shifted from failure to success. Onlookers, however, often find themselves captivated by the sigma's ability to take complete ownership of their journey, proving that no defeat is final unless you accept it as such. The sigma's comeback is more than just a personal victory. It's a statement. It says, "You don't define me, and neither do my failures." That ability to reclaim and rewrite the narrative is what makes their resurgence unforgettable. Number 7. The element of mystery as leverage. Sigmas possess an innate ability to shroud themselves in mystery, and this becomes one of their most effective tools, especially under pressure. Unlike others who wear their emotions or strategies on their sleeves, sigmas keep their thoughts and plans hidden, even in their most vulnerable moments. This calculated ambiguity leaves others guessing, unable to predict their next move or gauge their true state of mind. What makes this so powerful is the psychological effect it has on everyone around them. Opponents, allies, and even observers are left trying to fill in the blanks, often projecting their own assumptions onto the sigma. This creates a strategic fog that allows the sigma to move unnoticed, misdirect attention, or simply buy time. Their silence or lack of reaction isn't a weakness, it's a deliberate choice to maintain control of the narrative and the situation. Even when they're pushed to their limits, sigmas never give away their full hand. They might show glimpses of struggle or vulnerability, but never enough for others to truly understand their position. This keeps adversaries off balance, wondering if they've gained the upper hand, or if the sigma is just biding their time for a decisive counterstrike. Their enigmatic nature also disarms those who seek to manipulate or control them. Without clear emotional cues or predictable responses, sigmas are nearly impossible to exploit. They keep their motives and goals close to the chest, making it impossible for others to weaponize their intentions. Ultimately, the element of mystery isn't just a personality trait, it's a form of leverage. It allows sigmas to operate with a level of unpredictability and control that few can match, turning even their most vulnerable moments into opportunities for power and precision. Number 8. Strategic retreats aren't defeats. For sigmas, a retreat is not a sign of weakness. It's a deliberate move in the larger game. When pushed to the edge, they don't waste energy fighting battles they can't win in the moment. Instead, they choose to step back, not out of fear or defeat, but to reassess, regroup, and recalibrate. This calculated withdrawal is a hallmark of their strategic mindset, allowing them to avoid unnecessary losses and return with a plan that tilts the odds in their favor. Sigmas understand that timing and positioning are everything. They're not interested in empty displays of bravado or trying to prove a point when the circumstances don't favor them. Instead, they focus on conserving their resources, mental, emotional, or physical, so they can strike when it matters most. This ability to step back and evaluate from a distance gives them clarity, allowing them to spot opportunities others might miss in the heat of the moment. What makes this approach so effective is the unpredictability it creates. Opponents often mistake a Sigma's retreat for a win, growing overconfident or careless. This is precisely what the Sigma counts on. By the time they return, they've not only refined their strategy, but also caught their adversaries off guard, making their comeback all the more impactful. A retreat for a Sigma is never about avoidance, it's about preparation. They view every setback as a chance to learn, adapt, and strengthen their position. When they return, it's with precision, focus, and a deeper understanding of how to achieve their goals. In their world, stepping back isn't stepping down, it's stepping up in disguise, proving that patience and strategy always outlast impulsiveness and ego. Number 9, harnessing adversity as transformation fuel. Sigmas are uniquely equipped to thrive under pressure, using adversity as a powerful catalyst for personal transformation. While many may buckle or lose direction when faced with difficulties, Sigmas use challenges as a mirror, reflecting back their weaknesses and highlighting the areas where they can grow. They don't see adversity as something to endure. They see it as an opportunity to refine their skills, sharpen their mindset, and accelerate their evolution into a stronger, more focused version of themselves. What sets them apart is their ability to extract value from hardship. Instead of succumbing to stress or frustration, Sigmas take a step back, analyze the situation with cold clarity, and then use it to fuel their next steps. Adversity becomes a lesson, a training ground where they test their limits and push through boundaries they previously thought impossible. This process isn't about surviving, it's about evolving. They become stronger, wiser, and more resilient with each challenge, harnessing what most would consider a setback to propel them forward. In fact, Sigmas often thrive in environments where others struggle. The chaos, pressure, and uncertainty that break many people down serve as the very conditions where Sigmas do their best work. They can reframe setbacks as stepping stones, finding opportunities for growth in even the most trying of circumstances. This ability to transform adversity into fuel for personal evolution is what makes them so powerful. They don't just bounce back, they come back better, faster, and more prepared for whatever comes next. Rather than viewing challenges as obstacles, Sigmas see them as milestones, markers along their journey to becoming their best self. They use adversity not to define them, but to refine them, continually evolving into a version of themselves that is tougher, smarter, and more capable than before. Number 10. Hyper-adaptability to fluid situations. Sigmas have an exceptional ability to adapt to rapidly changing situations, often thriving in the very chaos that overwhelms others. While many people struggle when the ground beneath them shifts unexpectedly, Sigmas don't just cope, they thrive. Their hyper-adaptability is their secret weapon, allowing them to recalibrate their approach instantly and effectively, no matter how unpredictable the environment becomes. This adaptability isn't born out of desperation, but from a deep understanding of themselves and the world around them. Sigmas are highly attuned to shifts in their surroundings, whether it's a change in people's behavior, a shift in societal trends, or a sudden crisis. Rather than clinging to outdated strategies or rigid plans, they are quick to assess the new reality and adjust their tactics accordingly. This ability to pivot with precision is what sets them apart from those who become paralyzed by uncertainty. Their adaptability also stems from a lack of attachment to any one outcome. While others get stuck on a particular goal or vision, Sigmas remain fluid, ready to seize whatever opportunities arise, even if they weren't originally part of the plan. This flexible mindset allows them to stay a step ahead of competitors or adversaries, who are struggling to adjust, often catching them off guard with a response that seems almost intuitive. In high-pressure environments where everything is in flux, Sigmas don't just survive, they capitalize. They see the changing tides not as a threat but as a chance to refine their strategy, reshuffle their priorities, and create a new path forward. While others flounder or attempt to force their way through the chaos, the Sigma thrives by embracing the unknown, recalibrating in real time, and always staying ahead of the curve. In the end, the Sigma's comeback is not just a story of survival, it's a masterclass in resilience, strategy, and self-determination. While the world watches others stumble and falter under pressure, the Sigma operates in the shadows, using every challenge, every setback, and every moment of adversity as fuel for personal evolution. They don't just adapt, they thrive. They don't just react, they calculate and strike with precision. And when they emerge from the chaos, it's not just a return. It's a complete redefinition of what's possible. The Sigma doesn't need validation, support, or external resources to shape their destiny. They need only their own mind, their ability to read the room, and the uncanny talent to turn any situation to their advantage. They make comebacks that are less about brute force and more about surgical strikes, mastering the art of waiting, observing, and using everything in their environment to recalibrate and rise again, stronger and more powerful. What makes the Sigma's story so captivating isn't just their triumph, but the way they bend the rules of success itself. They rewrite the narrative, turning every defeat into a stepping stone, every adversary into an ally, and every setback into a stage for their next most brilliant move. When the dust settles and the world wonders how they pulled it off, one thing is certain: the Sigma didn't just come back. They made a statement. And that statement is one that resonates, leaving an indelible mark on anyone who dares to underestimate them. If you've been captivated by the Sigma's journey of resilience, strategy, and unrelenting comebacks, you're not alone. The lessons here aren't just for the Sigma, they're for anyone who's ready to redefine the odds and take control of their own story. If you've found this insight valuable, don't miss out on future content that dives even deeper into the art of mastering life's challenges. Hit that subscribe button now so you never miss an update that could change your approach to the game. If you've been inspired, give this video a like, because when you appreciate something, you share it, and we all know that the best transformations happen when we spread knowledge. Drop your thoughts and experiences in the comments. We want to hear how you've turned adversity into your own powerful comeback. And most importantly, share this with someone who needs that extra push to embrace their inner Sigma. Don't just watch from the sidelines, join the movement, and let's rise together. Thanks, damsels, for tuning in. See you in the next vid. Bye and stay blessed.